Hey guys, what's up? It's Melody, and today we have a really exciting life hacks video. My favorite types of videos and your favorite types too. Definitely give the channel a subscribe if you love colorful and smart minimalism. That's all that we focus on here, is to make your life easier and more efficient. I want to get right into this video, and the very first life hack I have for you guys is to reuse your napkins. So a lot of us, we try to eat at home as much as we can, but when we order takeout, they always dump napkins in even if we don't need them. And so my number one tip is to save one of your used tissue boxes. And you know how much that I love these puff packs, because I can use these puff packs everywhere. Elevation for me is king, and these are so easy to elevate. And so I have these puff packs, and what I do is I just save up all of the napkins, and then I just tuck them into the puff pack, or you can tuck them into the Kleenex container, and then you can keep it on your table. It's a very clean, nice look. So I don't mind keeping it in the center of my table, or you can keep it on your pantry and just put some strips, command strips or Velcro strips, and paste them onto your pantry door, and then you can pull them out that way. And then when they run out, you can put reusable Ziploc bags or something like that. So there's so many uses for this, but I just love reusing the napkins. On this channel, I really focus on cleaning, and one of my favorite tips is every time I clean, when I'm cooking or when I'm just wiping down a table or a ledge, I always use a plate, not a bowl. I see so many people saying to keep a bowl on the counter and then you can fill it up with scraps, but I just prefer a plate so much more, because let me tell you why. If I'm gonna wipe down this table right here, this is such a big surface area. It's so much easier to wipe and make it land in the center, so I can be more liberal with my swiping. And then another thing is, when I'm cooking on the counter and I want to place the scraps onto the plate, it's so much easier to get things onto the plate because the rim is so short compared to a bowl. And the very last reason why I like a plate is because it takes almost no space in the dishwasher, unlike a bowl. A bowl takes a lot more space. So give it a try, guys. Use a plate instead of a bowl whenever you're cleaning. And the very next thing is, when I'm heating up leftovers, you know how when you put it in the microwave, if you use the microwave, the center oftentimes doesn't get heated up all the way. So what I do is, when I'm piling on my leftovers, I'll put all of the things on the plate, and then I'll dig out a hole in the center, because that's where it doesn't heat up, and then everything heats up evenly. The next tip that I have is, whenever I am going to be using my toolbox or my makeup, I always use a transfer container. And you can use this even in the kitchen. I can put a few spices or a condiment in one little container and transfer it to the counter instead of making a million trips. So this is really efficient. Whenever I'm going to do my makeup, I grab my container, I grab my Z palette, and I load it up. You guys know that I use primarily vinegar and water whenever I'm cleaning, and that I always recommend to fill the bottle up only halfway, because the more heavy the bottle is, the harder it will be to clean. So you don't want to be lugging around heavy things. So for the toolbox, that's what I really like to do. I like to just have one little container, fill it up with the things for the individual project, and head there. So give it a try. It might change your life. The next tip I have is to keep all of your modules together. First aid kit, gift wrapping station, mail station. You want to keep it all in one area, so that when somebody's looking for something, they know, I know where it's at. It's going to be in one area. For me, I keep all of my modules in the living room. The dresser that I repurposed with some blue paint, and basically it has too many drawers, so it's a perfect place to keep all my modules. If I want to wrap a gift, I'll grab my gift wrapping module, or if I want to mail out a letter, I'll grab my mail station, which will have the stamp, the pen, the checkbook, the letters to mail things out. So then I know where everything is, and if I'm looking for my first aid, it will also be there. The next tip I have is to use dish towels. I really like these kind of rough feeling dish towels from Target. They're only $2 or less each, and I love using them for mirrors. How often are you cleaning mirrors and you're running your rag against it or your paper towel and there's nothing but lint everywhere? There's nothing more frustrating. Well, this will get the job done. It's not just going to prevent lint from ending up on your mirror, but it's also going to prevent lint from ending up all over your clothes. This is the ideal multi-purpose tool. The next tip is to use a tape like this instead of the ones with the blade on it. because you can easily recycle the middle part, you know what I'm saying? And what I do is I put a paper clip on there, and then the paper clip prevents me from losing my place. No waste, and it's way cheaper. Oh my goodness, if you're buying one of the ones with the blades on them, you're paying so much for that luxury. My next tip is how to prevent mosquitoes. It's a little bit cold right now, but save these tips for the summer. I thought, what a great time to add some summer tips into a winter video, right? So the number one thing that mosquitoes like is they like smelling dirtiness. So basically, if you're sweating a lot and you're oily, you're going to be attracting mosquitoes like mad. So if you're as clean as possible, you're a lot less likely to attract a mosquito. And the next thing is they are also attracted to carbon dioxide. And so when you eat spicy foods or you're drinking alcohol, you want to limit all of those things outside as much as you can. And the next thing is that mosquitoes like dark colors. So definitely don't go outside looking like me because they will love you. Mosquitoes scan the landscape, and when they see bright colors, you kind of blend in with the rest of the landscape. But when they see a nice dark column, they're gonna say, oh my gosh, there's some food. So wear a nice white shirt or a nice bright yellow or pink, and you'll just blend in with the rest of the flowers. They won't even see you. The next thing that mosquitoes hate is peppermint oil. So I use peppermint oil in 3 different ways in my house. This is the number one all-purpose oil. If I could only have one, I would definitely get peppermint oil. And I don't even like the smell of peppermint oil, so maybe I was a mosquito in a past life. What you can do is you can either add it to your lotion or you can add it to your deodorant underneath your armpits. My second to the last tip is to store things vertically. Use vertical space as much as possible. I love utilizing this in the bathroom and especially in my recyclable area. I keep it vertical bins all the way up, and you want to use the vertical space as much as possible. If you have to elevate things to utilize vertical space, do that. There's always unlimited vertical space, it seems, but not horizontal space. Shirts, you want to utilize the horizontal space because the horizontal space will allow you to see the spines. So I have 2 men's shirts right here, a Reddit shirt and a Linux shirt, and I have the t-shirt folder. I just use an 8 by 11 paper. I want to make sure they're all about the same length, because if you have one longer and one shorter, it's going to start to look a little weird. And so this kind of thing helps you to do it instantaneously and get it the perfect shape every time, no matter the size of the shirt. What you do is you just lay it on the blue board. I haven't done this in so long. I never use this blue board because it's so much easier just to use the white paper for me. Takes the same amount of time. So, and you can use any white paper. So if you have a white paper laying around, voila, you're already there. So you just lay out your shirt like that, and then you 1, 2, and you gotta tuck in the sleeve, and then you run it up like that. You tuck this bottom in, and then you go out. Now I'm going to show you how to do it with just the paper. You don't even need the blue shirt folder to be able to fold the shirts so nicely and so vertically. I mean, look at that, it looks amazing. I hope that these tips helped you out. If they did, give it a big like. I have a second part to this video. I saved the best tips for the second part, so definitely subscribe. And if you know of someone that could use these life hacks, give this video a share, and I will see you all next Sunday.